Welcome to the VŌC Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the VŌC Podcast. Today, I'll be chatting with professional voice actress Nikki Rapp. Y'all might have heard her in, for example, The Walking Dead, right? Psychonauts and tons of other stuff she's been into. She's a really talented voice actress, and thank you so much for accepting my invitation.
My goodness, thank you for asking me. I'm very honored.
So, Psychonauts 2 just recently released. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's the best. I mean, the first game came out in 2005, so it's been a very long time. She's my number one Lilly, always my favorite Lilly, because she was a start of voice acting for me. And it was, I was just getting going. I'd only been working for a few years when that audition came up, and I didn't know anything about Tim Schafer. I didn't know his history. I didn't know anything. I was so like a little budding little seed or something. I didn't know. And when this game came out, like when I was recording it, I was just, wow, this is incredible. This game is it's really special. It's really funny. It's quirky. It's sweet. It's a lot of like deep thought stuff. It's great. So the fact that now we have the sequel finally all these years later, it's pretty rad.
I actually haven't played the game, so I mean, I'm sure you could talk about it a lot, but I'm curious if, you said you voice a character named Lilly, so how does she sound like?
Lilly is more she's a lot younger. She's 10 years old. So it's closer to my natural speaking voice, just a bit higher, really. I mean, I relate to her a lot. She's but the thing is, it's interesting. When I think of all the characters I've played, they all are like sassy in their own way. Some of them are more reactionary than others, but Lilly in Psychonauts, like she will light you on fire. So she's amazing. She's a 10-year-old psychic. She loves plants. She loves fire. She loves Raz, who's the main character. It's her boyfriend. And it's a really fun game. So I hope you play it. I think you would like it. It's really fun.
Oh, I definitely will try it, because you're in it. So of course I will try it. And I advise all of the people that will be watching this to play it too. So actually, I was a bit afraid to meet you because, when I meet actors as an actor myself, I mostly base off of their characters, which is not a good idea. So when since I know you play Lilly in The Walking Dead, and she is pretty scary, right? And I didn't know what to expect. So I try not to watch any interviews with you, right? So I wanted this to be an experience of mine. So yeah, I didn't watch anything. So I was just curious how your natural speaking voice should sound like and your personality.
Yeah, I'm really different than Lilly.
I guess that's good.
Yeah, what you are expressing is something that I've encountered for years since I played the part, because I used to do a lot. I don't know if you know or not. I was doing a lot of Comic Cons, and so I'd go to the conventions, and then people would come to the table. I had a banner with Lily's face on it, and a lot of people would just walk up to the table, say something really mean to me, and walk away. Basically, they hate me. They don't even take a chance to talk to me. But the people that I would engage, because to be honest, sometimes I was like, all right, if that's what you think and you're not going to give me a chance as a person, I mean, I'm sitting here like at a convention. I'm not going to be a jerk. But anyway, but yeah, I just, when people would come up and talk to me and actually like chat with me, they'd be like, wow, you don't even sound like her. And you're actually really, really nice. I'm like, yeah, I'm an actor. Like, I mean, it's, it was the first villain character I've ever played. I've never played someone so sort of horrific. in so many ways.
So,
But I
oh my
do have
God.
a soft spot for Lily. Of course, I don't think she was a product of how she grew up, and then she had to survive, and so she continued in survival mode after
Yeah.
everything happened. So I'm sure we'll get into all that, but yeah.
So
But I understand it. Yeah, people feel weird about me. They don't know. They think I'm mean, but I'm not.
yeah, I mean that's what actors do, and of course I respect that and understand that. But it's still a bit hard to believe that such a sweet woman like you can play such an arrogant character. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's weird when I think about it because, for example, when I got that audition, I wasn't I was like, why did they send this to me? I will never book a part like this. I was having a bad day. I didn't feel good about anything, and I'm like, why would they think of me for this? And because I was having a bad day and they had that picture of Lily, like the one you guys have all seen, um it's there was something, and the dialogue, there was like a lot of cussing and anger and
Oh my
frustration,
God. Tongues.
and
Yeah.
I just related to it a lot in that moment. And after like, I think I had to read for it 3 times, and third time was the charm. But I mean, I really enjoyed playing that character because she's so different, and I just had to be in it. I couldn't think about, if I thought about, if I even knew the things I was gonna have to do at my session, I probably would have freaked out. But I didn't. Um, I don't know. I didn't ever know until I got there, and they're like, "Okay, so today this is what's going on." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Um, okay, if you think about things too much, it's not going to be natural, and you're not going to be in the moment as much. And especially with voice acting where you're so free, it's like you're by yourself. No one's watching you. It's
Yeah.
a special kind of freedom. So that's why I think playing Lily was something I could really sink my teeth into. Um, and it was almost like I was so in this tunnel, like in the woods, with nothing else around me mattered. I couldn't think it, nothing else could come in when I was recording that character. Yeah,
Well,
it was very cool and exhausting. And I had to take long
oh my
naps after
God.
I cry and stuff, but it was good.
Well, her voice is, deeper than yours, you know,
Yes, much
and
deeper. Yeah.
and of course, I mean, as cousin and all that things you were doing as her, I think that's kind of a relief, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it must have been a lot of fun.
It was. I mean, I was fortunate with Lily, and then I don't know if you ever played The Sims or not, but I did The Sims for like 12 years.
I know
And
you did because Gavin
you
Hammond told me about that.
oh, oh, love Gavin. He's great. Oh, but he's awesome. But I played the 8-year-old kids in that. So I got to have temper tantrums and cry and scream all the time and be a complete brat. So I think The Sims and doing Lily was, because I was doing them at the same time. It was a lot of therapy for me in a way to get out my
Mm.
frustration. On different levels. Child, and is like a woman who's lived way too much and had a terrible
Yeah.
father who instilled really bad thought and really mean and awful, and who knows what happened to her mom. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It was a lot with Lily. She had a lot. People gave her too much of a hard time, and
Yeah.
she had a lot that happened to her.
Oh yeah. I mean, have you also been in Sims 4? Because I've played that one.
Okay, no, when they did Sims 4, they got all new Sims.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I did Sims. So I got cast in Sims 2, but the little boy that was doing the kids' voices then, his voice was changing too fast. So I had to finish the original Sims 2 expansion packs, and then I did all of Sims 2 and then all of Sims 3, and I directed a couple expansion packs at the end of Sims 3 too. But I loved speaking Simlish, and it was so cool to be anywhere in the world, and it's a game that everybody understands, and it's a pretty beautiful thing, actually.
Yeah.
it's a pretty rad thing. I've been to a lot of places, and I like to go to the gaming stores, and
Mm.
like there'll be a whole wall of The Sims, and I would just get excited because I don't know, it's cool. It's really cool.
Oh, it definitely is cool. I mean, oh my God, as an actor, I mean, it's kind of nice when people come up to you and, when they recognize you, or perhaps when, I don't know if you ever done this, but for example, if you went to a store or, took the Walking Dead or any game you've been into CDKs and that's me, or
It's
point.
weird. It's weird. It's really
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I worked at a youth hostel in San Francisco for about 7 years. It was the greatest job. And it was when I was recording Sims 3. And one day there was a film crew from EA France that came, and they filmed me doing my session and stuff. And then they're like, "Can we like come to your house and can we film you in San Francisco?" And I was like, "What? That's crazy." but but
Oh
they
my
did.
God.
It was nuts. So it's weird. It's if you want to see it, it's on YouTube. It's like Sims 3 voice, and it has like I think Polish subtitles at the bottom of it. But you can see me in my apartment in San Francisco, and like me like being cheesy on the cable car, like
Oh my God.
it's so funny, but it's a great thing too because it's my window into my life there, and to see my old apartment. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like, how many people have something like that?
Right?
It's yeah. I mean, it's like this weird little video time capsule on YouTube that sometimes I'm like, wow. I mean, I look like a complete dork, but I knew though too, it was so cool that they wanted to do that with me. I mean, it's amazing. And it brings people together. That's why I love The Sims. I loved it. But so I worked at the hostel. Then this girl comes up and she says, "My brother saw you in a video," and they were from Austria. And she said, were you in The Sims? Are you in The Sims? And I said, "Yeah, but nobody ever sees us." And anyway, that's when he saw that video. And so he recognized me from that video
Mm.
at the hostel. It was like so random. I don't know. That was a tangent, but
It's
it
gotta
was
be, yeah.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, I will definitely check that video out. Please send that to me, after we
I'll email
can. Yeah,
you. Yeah.
yeah. What else?
Same.
Okay, we have a question over here. Well, I'm not sure if this disappoints you or not, but our fans, your fans, sent some questions in. Mostly Lilly was the main from Walking Dead, of course.
Fine. That's fine.
um,
No, I'm happy to answer Walking Dead. Like I'm happy to it's Lily was like she was an important character, I think.
yeah, and actually, what was your reaction to her coming back in season 4? Oh,
A fan actually made this for me. Isn't that cool?
that's amazingly cool. I need one.
Yeah.
I need
It's crazy.
one.
Yeah, it's rad. He
It's
was from
amazing.
Holland. He had it sent from Holland. So
Jesus, Holland.
I know. How cool is that? It was a total surprise. It was really, really beautiful.
So the question was, what was your reaction to Lily coming back in season 4?
First of all, I was at work. I worked at a restaurant, and I had finished my shift, and I saw there was an email from my agent, and it was like, Telltale wants you to come back for Lily. And I was completely shocked. I read that email over and over and over again. And of course, I couldn't say anything to anyone. I was completely blown away. I really thought it was done. I never thought they would bring her back. I always believed in my heart that, if you left her by the side of the road in episode 1, that she was still alive out there. She survived. She was leading another group. In my heart, I always knew that's what was going on, because how she was a leader, she was bossy, but she was going to get stuff done. She was going to survive because she's already been through so much in her life. And yeah, I was shocked. And when I went in to record, I knew nothing. I didn't know how she was going to be. I didn't know anything. And, I get there and they just have it on the iPad. So I just scroll down, do my lines. I don't read anything over, and I'm just recording as I go. And I started getting really nervous that I was never going to be able to go to a convention again, because I thought everybody was going to hate my guts, and because it was just getting really bad. But that being said, I really enjoyed being really evil. So
Well, you nailed her character, man. I mean, I was scared of her as hell in season 1 a few
I
years
scared
back. Well, yeah, but when I seen her in season 4, oh my god. But she was even worse in season 4. I mean, in season 1, she was like, okay, she wants to, lead the group and quote unquote protect his dad and the group. And in season 4, it was, oh my god,
Yeah,
terrible.
it was terrible. I was very, very shocked. I just wish there would have been more. That's all. I just felt like it was really quick, and then all of a sudden she was gone. And that's kind of how I felt in season 1 too, because I thought she was going to be in the story a lot longer than she was. Like when I went in to record episode, what was it? Episode 3. They were like, "This is your last episode," and I thought she was going to be in the story a lot longer. So, it was kind of
Sad.
short, sweet, but it was very, very, very impactful. And I mean, I've had a lot of incredible experiences because of this game. I've gone to Norway, I've gone to Sweden, I went to London and Berlin, and just doing conventions and being a guest at things, and it's amazing the impact of this game and the impact of that character, because I was really honored that even though she was in there for not as long, people remembered her. So yeah.
I don't think anyone can forget about her, No, she's still such an iconic of a character, and
Thanks.
and your performance is just a cherry on the top, no one could have nailed that performance better than you did.
Oh, geez. Thank you. That's really nice of you to say. That's really nice. It was probably the hardest acting challenge of anything I've done, theater or anything. Because I had nothing to go by really, for the experience, like sense memory stuff, or
Mhm.
like the only thing I could equate to the meat locker scene is I lost my dad in 2005. So, but it was just losing your dad. This was just on a way more
Oh my
elevated level,
god.
but I could bring my human experience into what Lilly was going through, and how much that would really mess you up after, like that, and she had to still be with those people. She had to be with Kenny. That's why I think she was already at the, like, really at the edge, and that just really that did it.
Oh my god, I remember the meat locker scene. Actually, I, saw some playthroughs just a few days ago, like yesterday, because I knew I was gonna be meeting you, and I kind of wanted to prepare myself and remember the scenes. And I remember you screaming your head off, and so much emotion involved, and it's just really amazing how you just did that behind the microphone, and so amazing.
Thank you. Well, to be honest, I don't really even remember driving home that day. It
Oh
was
wow.
no, because I think I was so exhausted mentally. Because the engineer and the director, after I finished, and they told me they were genuinely concerned about me, because I was just, you can't half ass that sort of thing, or else it's not going to seem real. It's not going to feel real, is what I should say.
Yeah.
So you have to throw everything you have into it, or else it's going to be, I don't know if yeah, for me, there's no other way. I don't really have a middle. I'm like, I have to, you can always bring me down, but which is good. I think you can, like, I'll go nuts and then be like, okay, just tone it down a little bit. I can do that. But it's like, I think you have to, especially with an intense scene and intense experience like that, Yeah, I can't. I don't know how else to describe it. You just have to be completely in the moment in that scene. And
Yeah, you were so
yeah,
shocking that you actually made me feel emotional and a lot of other players, because your acting was so good, and oh my God, all the other actors, of course, did an amazing job. But
oh, we was this incredible supporting group. I mean, everybody. It was like everybody, and I'm amazed at the editing that they did because it sounded just like we were. I don't know. That game just blew my mind. Like I was terrible at playing it because I die instantly. Um,
oh,
but I watched so many playthroughs and I really actually love that because I love to see people's reactions to things.
right, yeah.
Especially like with the Carly and Doug situation and um, like yeah, that was so shocking the way people because it was a shock. It was a total shock. It
It
was crazy.
was. Oh my
Yeah.
God. You know, when you're in the booth, and you're recording your lines, I don't think you like necessarily know how the scene will end up looking like. But when you watch
Yep.
these playthroughs, and I think it's just really shocking to see how this team made this game so good, and seeing people's reactions to your voice and your acting, and all this
Oh, that's
all
wild.
the yeah, it's so cool.
So it's weird. It's weird because I mean, I remember when I first like saw Lily and when I saw the game and it took me a minute. I'm like, wait, that's me? Like, wait. It was weird. And I had friends that were playing the game and they're all, oh, you were the little girl. I'm like, no, I'm not the little girl in this one. Like, I'm always
Oh.
little girls. And yeah. And I said, no, I'm not the little girl. And then I would be like, I was Lily, or you probably hated me. And they're like, wait, what? That was you. So that feels really good. Because for years and years, that's the kind of, I would just get cast as very young characters. So because of my bad mood and because my agents heard something and knew something that I didn't, I'm so glad that I auditioned for this role and that it worked out because now I think people see more to me than they knew, you
Oh,
know?
hell yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. I wonder, I mean, when you get interviewed, there is no possible way you don't get questions about The Walking Dead.
Oh, no.
Impossible.
No, and it's like, it was so impactful to so many
Yeah.
people. And I mean, this game
Mhm.
came out, what, 10 years ago now, the first season?
Oh, yeah, something
So
like that, yeah.
it was like I think 2011 when I got the job. So it's been a while and people are still discovering it and people are still like really into it. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's a very cool thing to be a part of and so emotional for people. So especially the final season too. It was very emotional and crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I hate what Telltale did to, Lily's character in season 4. I mean, oh my God, why did they have to, make her so evil?
I know it was like this is what I'll say about that. I think they didn't even need to make her so horrible. Like I remember when I was reading about cutting the tongue out, and I saw that in the script, like I didn't have to, act anything about that, thank goodness. But they were like in the notes, it was like she just cut somebody's tongue out or whatever. And um, I was like, oh my God, she's horrible. She's sinister. Like it just went really far. I did enjoy I enjoyed it. It was because she was very like methodical and spoke really slowly and
Oh yeah.
um everything was deliberate and um yeah, I really savored that because I would love to know what happened to her in those years. Like I wish we had that game or something, Like I wish we had that to see how did she, I think she was definitely on that road to, I can understand, who knows what happened to her, and also like she got left by the side of the road, hopefully. I mean, well, yeah, she did, by a lot of people. I know some people just wanted her dead, and
Oh,
a lot of
yeah.
people told me that some like, I wanted you dead. I'm like, you didn't want me dead, not me, this character I played.
Yeah, yeah, I was worried there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, not me. Come on, let's get some clarification here. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. It makes sense to me that she ended up the way she was, but I was shocked at how far they took it, I guess I'll say.
yeah. To me, it feels like they wanted her to bring back, but they also wanted a way to, make people want her even more dead,
Yeah.
which definitely worked out for them.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really quick. It was quick. I wish there would have been more. And and then if you did let her live, then she just sails off into the moonlight and smoke, and um who know, like I would love to know what happened to her next, but
Well, at this
that's not.
point, her character is like she's either dead or she sails off. So I don't think, I'm not sure if Skybound Games is making anything new or will plan to make anything new, but I don't think they will bring back Lily, even if you let her alive. Yeah.
No, because it was such like we just got to do something with her. So
Yeah.
we'll just send her off on this, yelling and being sassy and but I don't know. It was I think that final scene though for me personally, it was very emotional. It was very very emotional because I had also just been really really sick, and I had just gotten my voice back like 2 days before that session, thank goodness. But I can still hear it in my voice that I was sick. And it worked because of the explosion and the smoke and the emotion just came out of me. And I don't know, I just remember I left there and I was like, well, I got to have another time with her after the first season. I thought it was done. And after a few years, I was like had hope, but then I was like, you know what? Because I would be at conventions and people would be like, when's she coming back? And I'm like, you guys, I don't think she's coming back. Like, I really didn't think she was coming back. So
Mm.
the fact that I got to have another round with her and she went up about 10 levels of anger. But it was good therapy for me, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's still hard to believe that you voice her because, you're just such a nice person to talk to. So cool.
Thanks, Dawn. Thank you. Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
We have another question over here from RB900. Are you still in touch with any of the Walking Dead actors?
Once in a while, we get in touch. I mean, everybody's really busy. There's been a lot of people that have made a lot of really good successes, and it's really awesome. I mean, um, and especially lately because of COVID, it's like I've just been by myself for a while in my little house. I have my closet over there. It's and I go in there and do my auditions and some sessions if am fortunate to get something cool to do. And um, but hopefully soon I'll get to see everybody again.
Yeah, hopefully, you will do some conventions and, since
Mhm.
when all this is over. When all this is over, you're going back to your old life.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get back to my conventions, get back to hanging out and seeing people and making them realize I'm not a meanie. I'm not a jerk.
Yeah. So everybody who thought you were something like Lily was, she's
Yeah.
not. As you can
Nope,
see,
not
she's
at all.
amazing, always happy.
Thanks.
Yeah. So another question from RB. How did you approach the character of Lily? Let's start with season 1.
Um, well, what I knew, I really just knew what learned from my audition. And then when I went in, they told me more about the character, like about Larry and like, military. That's like the kind of life she was raised in, and now she's in the military. And so I just had like basic things. For me, it was obviously finding that voice, which I call it Lady Town because I didn't know that I could go to Lady Town, but Lily was like an extension of my Lady Town deeper voice that I don't really use very much. It's weird. It feels weird to go there. It feels kind of good. It's like weird, but I don't know. It like I said, it's such a hard question to answer because I just had to throw myself into her circumstances and I always think about like, what kind of clothes does she wear? Like, she's always like dressed down and she's got like heavy boots probably. And, prepared, like who knows what she's got. She's got jerky at your pool. It's like,
Yeah.
But I definitely know about myself and I kind of hate it, but it's good in some circumstances that if I'm doing something, you can't really get me out of it. And that happens to me out other jobs or whatever. Like if I'm working on the register at work, I don't hear anything around me. I'm just focused on my task. So I think with Lily, that really worked because I think that's how she is. And she was just super focused on what was best for the group in her eyes. But she, I just hated that she was pinned down as a villain because I didn't think she was a villain at all. I just think she was a survivor in her life before like The Walking Dead came along. And it's I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I answered that question, but you just have to throw yourself into it or else it's like, that's how I approach Simlish. You can't think too much about it. You just have to do it. When I approached Lily in The Walking Dead, if I was thinking too much about how I think she should be acting, I have to be like, okay, I am this character now. These are the words. I just have to like put myself into this and make it. I just believe that I am this character now. It's weird. Acting, it's weird.
Well, it is. And yeah, I'm sure, like, I'm really happy to see that, you're so different than Lily. Because, as I said, I was sometimes, scared of her and she always screamed my head off. And, listening to you, how you sound normally and your personality is just great. So,
Thank you.
So what else do we have here? More questions. What does it feel like to voice one of the most, if not the most hated character in the series?
Wow. To be honest, it didn't feel that great for a while. Because I was getting a lot of hate mail. And then just at conventions, I was getting a lot of negativity and there were people that would be like, I hated you, but you were fantastic, And then I had to turn things around in my head. Like, okay, they are hating me because I did a good job. Like they believe that character so much that they can't shake it that I would not be her, I guess.
But that is terrible.
It was. I don't know, because this has been like such a weird, like, it's been a great experience, but then it's also been a little bit harder. And so I just have to be like, you know what? I did my job. I think I did it well. It felt good to me. I'm proud of what I did. I made people like have emotions, and that's really cool. So my performing like affected them in some way. And that's why we do this too. It's like, I got into acting because my mom put me in a choir class because I was really shy. And I still am very shy in a lot of circumstances. And people were like, you're not shy. Yes, I am. I am. I get really shy sometimes, but I I got into acting. I remember I was going to a junior high when I was like, how old are you? Like 12. And they did musicals there. So I did Sound of Music. I did Annie. I did Carousel. And then I started doing a lot of musical theater, but I started realizing that I really enjoyed it, because not that I don't love and appreciate myself as who I am, but it at that time of my life, it felt good to escape. You're at a time where you're like, don't know who you are, and you don't feel comfortable in your skin, and there's something about, oh, I can step into this character for a while, and like, it's and then when I realized, like, I loved it, and I was kind of good. I mean, people were like, you're good at this. I'm like, wait, what? No, it's and then it wasn't anything. I was like, I'm gonna do this as my career. I wanted to be a veterinarian, but I cry too much about animals, so there's no way I could do that. And then I was gonna be like a writer, film writer or something, and I don't know. And then I just kept acting, and then I started doing voiceover, and I was like, well, I guess this is what I'm doing. It's really weird. It's weird.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, back in the 80s, 90s, a lot of people didn't really take voiceover seriously as far as it comes to games, because, games weren't so serious at that point, weren't so
Yeah.
big, you know, and now to see what games have become, like I'm not sure if you heard about mocap, motion capture.
Yeah, of course.
So, some of the games are made that way, and so fascinating. It's like a on-camera movie production almost,
It is. It is.
and it's so
Wow.
fascinating.
It is. It's super cool.
I have a question actually. Did it differ somehow? When you were recording for season 1 and season 4, did something changed, or perhaps in a different booth, or some other place, or
Oh yeah, because when I did the first season, I was up in the Bay Area, up in San Francisco. And then when I did this fourth season, I'm down in LA. So I'm in Los Angeles for this one.
Okay, but it still
City.
wasn't mocap or something. Just
No. It was just, I just went in. If Melissa recorded before me, that would be great, because they would play like Clementine in my ears, and that was great for me to have her to respond to.
it's possible to put you guys together. That would be probably much easier,
Yeah.
than just hearing her voice in your ears. Why don't they just put you guys together in the booth?
It's probably like, it's rare to record. The only times that I've recorded really with a partner was in The Sims, because in Sims 3 there was my friend Georgie. She was the little girls, and I was the little, or no, she was the little boys and I was the little girls. So it's rare that you are with anybody in the booth. My hair is making me feel weird right now. Sorry.
No, your hair is amazing.
Oh, thank you. I just look like I had an antenna or something sticking up. But yeah, it would be cool if we had gotten the chance. That's why I think the editing is so amazing, because they do make it sound like we're all there together, and especially in those big scenes, like at the RV scene, everyone's fighting, and stuff happens.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's pretty fascinating. They just edit it together, and it sounds natural.
It does.
And Gavin told us that when they were casting for The Walking Dead, they were really specific about what they wanted. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I had to audition 3 times. Like, they kept, okay, do it again. And by the third time, I was like, shoot, I don't even know what I can do differently this time. I don't know, just a different tone, a different phrasing, but I had done, right before The Walking Dead, I had done Tales of Monkey Island with Telltale. And so I knew Sean and Jake. And so they wrote the first season of The Walking Dead, and they wrote Tales of Monkey Island. And so they had known me already, and they were huge Psychonauts fans. So they were just kind of laughing that, I played Lilly in Psychonauts. And now, because they told me they're all, well, we knew we wanted you. And I'm like, God, you guys put me through so much. Like, I didn't know what else I was going to be able to do for this character. It was hard. But I couldn't believe it when I got the part. I mean, because honestly, every time I have a job, I worry, am I gonna work again? Is anyone gonna hire me again? It's like a constant stress. And it's just, and especially when people like remember you and appreciate your work, and then maybe that also adds to them wanting to cast you.
Yeah.
It's just, it was really cool to work with them again, and for me to play such a different character, like from Lilly and Psychonauts to Morgan Le Fay to Lilly. So Lilly, no last name, just Lilly. So
Well, you have quite a range.
I tried. I mean, I didn't. It's funny because when I was in drama school, they cast me in all different parts. It was never like, oh, like I played Anne Frank and I played a granny like on a farm. And so I played all different parts, but right before I was going to graduate, the director of the school was like, just, you might not work very much because of your voice. And this was, do you know Animaniacs? The cartoon?
I think I heard about it. Yeah.
You should watch it. It's great. But that was the time when Animaniacs was on TV, and I would get out of drama school at like 1:00. I would do my homework, and then I would make sure I could watch Animaniacs. And that was where I was like thinking, I never thought about voiceover or voice acting before, because everyone always made fun of me. And I think inside I always felt like my voice was going to be like my downfall, and I probably wouldn't be able to do much. And I think I probably had that in my head even before the teacher said that to me. But because our people always were making fun of me, and people would call the house and be like, is your mommy home? And, still into my 20s, even, but like, it wasn't on for all my adult life. But it turns out, like, I moved back from LA to the Bay Area, to San Francisco. And my dad had found out about a voiceover school, and he said, the teacher, she has a voice like you. And so I went, and I just completely fell in love with it, because as much as I loved being on stage, I still had that self-consciousness. And with voice acting, I didn't have to be self-conscious. I didn't have to memorize lines. I didn't have to think about my blocking, like, where do I go?
Yeah.
It felt really safe. So I always think it's like acting for introverts, because for me, it's perfect. It's like, I still get to act. I get to play all these different kinds of characters. And I also, I mean, here I'm doing this podcast, and I did a lot of conventions, but no one knows me, like me just walking down the street, unless you play some video game and you like watch a bunch of stuff on YouTube and you just randomly see me. But I like the anonymity of it, because I would not want to be famous like that. I like doing stuff. I like traveling. I like going to the movies by myself. I like to do all that stuff. I just think it'll be a really hard life. So I love being a voice actor. It's great.
That's just really amazing. That's just so cool. You know what would I enjoy? And I think a lot of other of your fans, if you would like perhaps react to some of the stuff you did, for example, to The Walking Dead, just you looking at someone playing it, and or you playing it yourself perhaps, but if that would be just so cool to see your reaction on the scenes.
I know. I mean, I went to the rap party, the release party for Psychonauts 2 Thursday, what night? Tuesday night? Wednesday night. It was a quick trip to San Francisco, but I went up to the party, and everybody that worked at Double Fine, everyone who was working on the game was there, and they were like, you should do streaming, playing the game. And I'm like, you know what? I've never done that. Maybe I should look into doing that. I've never done that before. But that would be fun, because I'm terrible, and it would probably be really funny and sad.
I think I think people would enjoy watching it.
I don't
definitely
know if anyone would watch it, but if you'll show up, then maybe I'll give it a go.
Well, I think you should. And I mean, I'm sure you have like a big fan base behind you that you don't know about, perhaps.
I don't know, but I got a lot of nice people that, send me nice messages and I've been really fortunate. Like the jobs I've had, the characters that I've gotten to play have all kind of, even Walking Dead, Lilly, like there was a kid that wrote to me and he said, I used to get bullied and then I don't know if this is good or bad, but excuse me, but he said, Lilly, she like gave me courage to like stand up to a bully. I'm like,
Mm,
well, good. I mean, I'm glad that she helped you and it didn't go the other way,
that's
Just don't
so
go
positive.
for. Yeah.
So positive. And it's so good to hear all these stories from you. Oh my God. And, we have another. Someone wants you to say Lilly Gaming. Could you do that as Lilly?
Say what?
Lilly Gaming.
Lilly Gaming? Lilly
Yeah,
Gaming?
yeah, that.
Lilly Gaming. Lilly Gaming. Is that what they wanted?
Yeah, because we've been talking about you streaming, So,
Oh,
Lilly
Lilly Gaming.
Gaming.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. All right, Lilly Gaming. Sweet.
I'm looking, I have so many questions written down over here, but some are just not good enough to ask, or you've answered them already.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, good. I'm glad I've like been on track with something. That's good.
Yeah. So we have a question over here that what do you think has happened to Lilly throughout season 2 and 3 when she hasn't been in the games?
Well, I mean, I really do think she was like, she, she was out there. She probably met stragglers. She probably killed a lot of walkers. Um, I mean, you could see that she was a lot different when you caught up with her again. She looked like she had been through a lot. And I think I don't want to say she was like defeated because she wasn't defeated, but there was like a more of a darkness to her, I think. So I do believe that she she was out there kicking ass, obviously, or else she wouldn't have survived. Um, but I don't know. I would love to see it. That was the thing. I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, I mean, Skybound Games got to do something like that,
It
like
would
what
be
happened to
great.
Lilly.
It would be unexpected and completely awesome.
Yeah,
I
that
think.
that would be, and I mean, things didn't have to end that way because if she killed Carly, then she did that on purpose. But if she killed Doug, then that was just a bad accident. But if she would have shot Ben, then actually the games would have taken another turn, and maybe it didn't have to end as it ended in season 1. And I'm sure you know what happened in season 1. Lee died and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was very emotional.
it was, and I mean the voice acting is just so good. So
Like grown men were crying.
definitely. I
Yeah,
think you were watching some reactions as well. You were
I
reacting.
saw a lot of reactions. I loved watching it. It was really pure and like because people are so connected with these characters that and you have to make these choices for their lives. And they remember if you screw them over. So you gotta act right. You gotta make the right
Hmm.
choices or it could get you.
E-
It was amazing.
Exactly. It's so good to know that you kind of know about all this stuff. You know what happened in the game, and you just didn't keep track on what you were doing, but also
Oh,
what
of
the game
course.
was about. That's cool.
Course. I mean, I will say like the middle stuff, I didn't really like I think season 2 I knew a bit about, but season 3 I didn't really know at all. Like I
Oh,
didn't
I
really keep up
didn't
with it.
too, because that game was a bit, well, for me, I didn't like that very
It
much.
wasn't your favorite.
Yeah, I never played it because I never wanted to play it.
Which one
But
was your favorite?
season 1, of course. See,
Yeah,
yeah,
I was gonna say
I
it's
mean,
season
that was
1.
a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the other
Mhm.
seasons were also pretty good, but season 1 was just, it's classic. It's a classic and so
Yeah,
good.
started the whole thing. It like got the ball rolling. It was like this. It's on now. It's happening. So
Yeah. Stay hydrated. Yeah. Um, um,
I do. I do. I have to.
yeah. You have like an audition after this or something?
Yeah, I gotta do some recording.
Oh, VO.
So, yeah, and it's in my closet. It's like 100 degrees today, so
Oh my God.
I have the door open, so hopefully it'll be like not as hot when I go in there in a little bit, but it'll be all right. It's not it I don't think it's a lot. It's just and it's not yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be good.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you say my name is Lily? My dad's Larry.
My name is Lily. My dad's Larry.
Oh my God. That was amazing. As always. I mean,
you.
you're a one take wonder now, aren't you?
I try to keep the pace up. They can get me in, get me out. And it's easier for everybody if I can do my job right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really good, if you don't have to do multiple takes.
For sure.
It makes your job easier.
Yeah.
And also makes you look more professional in front of the directors.
It does. It does.
We have a question over here. Do you regret Lily becoming a full villain?
I mean, I don't regret it. I think it's what people expected. I expected it, but like I said, I just didn't expect she was gonna be as ferocious and sinister. She really was carrying around some grudges, but I'm not saying anything she did was all right. It wasn't, but I understand why she went off the deep end. Like, your father's brains get smashed all over you when you're trying to save his life. And then it's like you get dejected and yeah, I know, like, she'll steal the RV. I know that part too, but it's like, I know she had issues. That's the thing, but it was gradually getting worse. And that's why I think, seasons 2 and 3, there was a lot of stuff she went through and a lot of, it was just a lot. So I understand why she became a villain. Personally, I enjoyed it. I didn't, but I think it was just really, really, really bad. And also really just, and I've said this a lot now, but I think it's just because I wanted to play that part for longer, but it was so fast. It was all of a sudden she was there and she was bad. And then bye on the raft. I understand that too, because of everything that was going on. And we were even lucky that it happened at all. So, I'm very grateful for that. And but I was just sad it was so quick. Even though Lily was horrible, I still love her. Like, I love my characters that I play. It's always gonna be a part of me in that character.
Yeah.
So I gotta love her. I can't completely hate her because it's not. I understand her in a kind of. I don't know.
I remember when I left her on the side of the road.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you let her live another day, and then she became a murderer. But and putting children in wars and a child army, and she was bad. She was very bad.
She was one son of a bitch.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, her dad wasn't making any situations easier for the group.
No, not at all.
Have you actually met your virtual father?
Yeah, I know Terry. I haven't seen him for so long, but yeah, I knew him because we were all from San Francisco, and we all had known each other for years. That's why this was also a very cool thing, because we all knew each other just from being at the same agency or just seeing each other at jobs. And so when we all got in the Walking Dead game, it was just like, wow, this is really cool. And yeah, Terry he's done animation for years, and he all of a sudden he plays like this crazy, horrible father, really bad, racist, like all the bad things to be. He was it.
But again, he also nailed the character. So, oh my God,
Oh yeah, no, he's incredible. Like that's what's so cool to see him, because that was something I feel like that was different for him too. So I loved that. It was cool to see people like going outside of what they're known for or what people expect from them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I just remember I seen, I think, a convention video or something where you and most of the cast were, reenacting lines and scenes, but Terry
Oh yeah, that was
wasn't
San
there.
Diego. No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Adam Harrington was Larry.
Yeah, and he was also Andy St. John from the
He
St.
was.
John family dairy.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah,
Uh,
Adam's awesome.
Next question by NASCAR Dude. What character from the games you did enjoy the most apart from Lilly?
Kenny.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, of course. Oh my gosh, Gavin was so perfectly cast in that role. And he's just, people love rednecks. Like, I mean, to an extent, but he was he was great in that role. And I liked the whole thing between Lily and Kenny too. Like, yeah, I think he was great. I think he was so loud, such a loud character, his personality was just crazy. It's like, okay, dude, but it's because he was so great. He was supposed to be like that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, his character was like, if you help me, I will care about you, but if you don't, then go fuck yourself. My apologies. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure he was.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the whole game, that all of the characters' personalities are nailed, It's like really natural.
We had such good direction, and then, the casting I think was really, really, really good. Just incredible.
Well, I mean, I think you could have played Clementine too, since you specialize in voicing children.
Thank you. That's sweet. I mean, she's a great character too. I think I mean, I know I read for Clementine a few times too, but I think I really had my heart set on Lily, because after the initial like, why? I will never get this part. I started getting attached to it, and I hate it when that happens, because then I want something really bad and I get really disappointed when it doesn't happen. I've learned through the years with voice acting, it's like, do the audition and then forget about it. Like, because it's too, I get so sad. Sometimes I just want something too much.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough. So with Lily, I had an attachment. And also I think I knew it was gonna be a challenge for me to play that part. So it was, and I liked it that she was so tough. And I mean, I remember they were I went to the Nordic Game Conference in Malmo. This was like 2014, I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but we were just out there, and it was like, oh, I just forgot what I was gonna say with that. Sorry. It was a Nordic game.
No problem.
Sorry.
Perhaps, we will get back into
that part out. Are we live right now?
No, we're not. Don't worry. No. People forget.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm trying to think of all these stories in my head. But no, it was I don't know. I don't know what it was. It was something about being in Nordic Game, and we were just we did a panel about everything. And the thing I learned in Norway too was that they were using The Walking Dead at some college to teach ethics.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh dear God. This is an interesting fact.
It is. It is. I don't know what college it was. I don't know that, but it was somewhere, and I think it was in Norway. But
Well, that's fascinating.
yeah.
We have a question by Cookie Joe. What was your reaction on The Walking Dead's massive success?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it was complete. I mean, it was pretty shocking, to be honest. It was very shocking and unexpected, and because the TV show had come out like I think a year or two before the game, and so people were like really starting to get into it. And then the game came out, and it was just like, okay, like people are into this. And I had done 2 other games with Telltale by that point, and I knew they released things week by week, so I would know like when episode 3 came out, especially, like that one was like a lot of people reacting to Lilly. And I started getting the hate mail and stuff, and on Twitter there was this guy who said I should be crucified, and
Oh my God.
block, like I'm not, I can't, it was hard for a while. I just didn't have, I'd never played a character that people hated, and it was like a tough thing for me to like deal with. But like I said, I turned it around, but in my head, but it was a lot. So it was like a bittersweet thing. It was like amazing and wow, holy shit, this is crazy, awesome. And then at the same time, I was like, okay, just everybody just leave me alone. Like, because it made me, I was getting too many mean emails, and they were blaming me.
God.
And I'm like, but it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was my voice.
But how in the hell do I've never seen this happen before, but it's just crazy how people turn on you because you played a fictional character and they think that she is you or you are her or whatever. And that's just so terrible and disappointing to see what the world was like or is still like. I haven't seen anything like that before.
It's I mean, I know it has happened to actors, and I know it, but I had never experienced it. And after I experienced it, it was just like, it gets a little intense, but it's better now. Like, I think after, it was funny, after the final season came out, I did a Walker Stalker in London, and they had just gotten to it had finally been released, like that, my last episode. And, well, when the really bad stuff happens, and these were people that I had actually met, because I'd done Walker Stalker London, I think 3 times by now. And so I had like people that were my friends there that would always make sure to come to the table, and I'd been in touch with them through the years. And so they were like, oh my gosh, we played it, but I couldn't kill Lilly because it's you. And people were drawing me pictures and writing me letters, and I have like all this beautiful art that people have given me, and just the sweetest things. And they just felt bad about everything. And I was like, you guys, it's okay if you killed her, because she's terrible in the final season. Like, I would have understood if you killed her.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just don't feel bad.
Yeah.
But it was very sweet. And it was a nice change from what I was expecting. Like, I was like putting on like fake armor on my, protecting myself with some weird invisible force like shield, and it turned out everybody was very nice, and nobody was mean, and everybody was just really grateful that they got the whole game, and all that kind of stuff. So
once when you go on a convention, perhaps you should cosplay as Lilly.
yeah, I might have to straighten my hair, not smile. Oh, that's what I was going to say. At Nordic Game, thank you, that reminded me. So we were doing a panel, and they had like a bunch of clips or like bloopers or funny stuff that happened during recording. And they couldn't find anything funny with me because I was too serious the whole time. Like, I don't even think I would mess up when I was reading. I think I was so focused on the emotion of what I had to do. And but I was bummed about that there was no silliness. It was the first time I've played a character too where I didn't have any jokes. Lilly did
Well,
not have a single joke. Like, she wasn't funny, she wasn't charming, but she was a badass that wanted the best for the group.
oh hell yeah, she
You
was
know,
badass, and she was cursing a lot.
I loved it too. That was another thing I loved about it. I always wanted to have a part where I was like cussing a lot.
Yeah.
I know that's weird, but I've always played cute characters and furry animals or like disgruntled teenagers or whatever. And this was like a real grown woman who had real
Yeah.
issues. So she had a
That was a
reason.
new experience for you.
Yeah, for sure.
We have a question over here from Landromat Graveyard. How do you think Lilly would have reacted if Kenny was with Clementine and AJ in season 4?
Oh, wow. That would have been really bad. Oh my God.
Probably.
It would have just been like, because she would know it was Kenny. Like, she would know it was Kenny, I think. I mean, with Clementine, she's grown up a lot and it took her a minute to realize. But I feel like, first of all, Kenny he wouldn't keep his mouth shut either. He would probably, yeah, it wouldn't have been good. It would have been instant, like, somebody's going to be dead right now. Like, it's not. Because she hated him, like, especially, oh yeah, that would have been awful. I'm glad that didn't happen. Sorry for Gavin, but I'm glad that didn't happen. I don't think it would have been a good story thing because it would have just been really bad. There would have just been, do you know what I mean?
I get it.
I don't know. I mean, I can understand for the sake of drama, but like, I can't imagine either one of them would survive very long. Like,
well, if it would be the two of them in the season, one of them would have died pretty quickly, one way or another, because, they're just enemies. And now they would be even bigger enemies because of what Lilly has become. So, oh my God, that would be just so bad.
It would have been crazy. It's crazy. It would have been interesting. I would have liked to do the scene, but yeah, it would have been, I don't know how far that could have gone.
Well, that's a good question. Maybe you should collab with Gavin and, do something nice for the community.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Okay, we have a question from Honeysuckles. How do you feel about how Lilly led the group? Do you think she led with too stern of a mindset, or do you think her actions were justified? Season 1.
I think she was just handling the situation the way that she felt like she needed to handle the situation. I feel like she had a lot of concerns because she knew her father had health problems. She also probably feels a responsibility because of her training, and so she probably goes into that mode of like, don't F with me, like, this is, I'm in charge. Kenny was some redneck, like, it was like, why did he think he should get to do that? Like, but Lilly was that was her role though. I think it's just she's not a people person, so
yeah,
she's not about pleasing people. She's not about being nice to somebody just because, like, but that being said, she did have some heart and she had some vulnerability that we saw. I mean, when I was doing a lot of conventions, I always loved when people got this, but I was selling prints from the game. And whenever anyone would like buy a print from me and I would sign it and stuff, I always put the little ponyo thing, the hair tie in the bag. And some people would get it right away. And some people would like look at it and just walk away. And it was like the people that got it, that was a tender moment with Lilly and Clementine.
Yeah.
And, it was something that I wanted to remind people of. And, and she had a soft spot for Lee as well. Like, it was just, I think when she was in front of a group, she was like, I have to be in charge. You guys got to listen to me. I know what needs to happen. So yeah, that was a lot, but
And
yeah.
oh my, I still can't stop myself, but I have to say that you did an amazing job, really. It's not every day that I get to, perhaps meet you or, anyone else from the cast. And I'm just happy to, kind of show my feelings to the character and yourself.
That is really sweet, Ron. Thank you very much. I mean, that really means a lot to me. I mean, and you know that being a voice actor is hard. You don't know when your next job is going to be. You don't know. It's like what's going to happen. And so when you work and you are chosen to play this character, like somebody was like, you know what, this voice is coming out of this, and it's a really special thing and it's an honor. And the fact that something that I did, I don't know, inspires you or makes you like feel like something, that's really cool. So thanks.
Well, yeah, being an actor and voice actor, that gives you an idea of, how would you play a perhaps similar character or something.
Mhm.
And that's just really fascinating to me.
Mm,
Um,
that's pretty cool.
yeah, being an actor is cool. Do you have a favorite Lily voice line that you perhaps remember or stands out?
Mm. The one that I think always, and it's just a little one, but it's the one that I always think about because it was such a sad moment, and it's from season 1. And it's after she shoots Carly or Doug or whoever gets dead. Um and she says, um I don't have anything left. It makes me sad.
Yeah, that was yeah, but then Lee said, "I don't care,"
Yeah. Yeah.
and but I mean at that point I think, and but then Lily snitches about Lee, which was also a bitchy thing from her,
She was she
very
was
bitchy.
she was like, fuck this. Like, sorry. She was like, you guys suck. Like, I'm out. You guys are terrible. Like
Yeah,
at that point, like, I don't know. I didn't appreciate how they were treating her.
but I mean
I get it, but I don't. Because they didn't give her the understanding she needed for what she just went through too. And I get it. There was a lot going on. It's the apocalypse. But the death of a parent, regardless of the situation, is terrible. And then you amp it up to that, and then you're just hating on her all the time. But I know she was wrong. But I gotta say both sides with Lily. We gotta balance this out a little bit, people.
I mean, yeah, you're yeah. Cheers. Um, and when you think about it, you're Lily, but not really. Her character is in you. So, but you
Mhm.
also, you just think the situation through, and
Yep.
you don't think as Lily. You know.
No, no, no,
But
no.
yeah, and I also don't understand why they had to treat her like that. But I guess Telltale was like, we need someone to treat like this, but Doug is not a good guy to do that. No.
No, no. I think it was brilliant because it was so shocking and unexpected.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was like, I mean, there was, I just go back to the reactions of people. I loved seeing those reactions. It was
Oh yeah.
incredible. Just, oh my God, people were just completely shocked. The other thing I really loved was when season 4 was about to come out, and I didn't know that they were going to. I thought they were just gonna have Lily show up in the game. I didn't think they were gonna let people know that she was back. And so there was a trailer, and I was on a bus, I think going to the airport or something, and I was like, "Oh," I have my little iPad. I'm like, "Oh, Telltale released the trailer for the new episode," and I knew Lily was gonna be in it, but I didn't think they were gonna show that she was gonna be in it. Anyway, so I'm like watching it. I'm like, oh, da, da, da. And then all of a sudden I hear that voice, and I was like, that's me. It was like that, the fire you something. It was about the fire. You remember that?
I don't.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't worry.
No
But
worries.
I remembered the line. But anyway, I just remember I was like, oh my God. So they announced Lilly, so she's back. So the coolest thing was no one has heard my voice for years and years and years. I mean, I've heard my voice every day. These people haven't heard my voice, especially as Lilly. They haven't heard Lilly for years. So I wanted to see if there were any reaction videos. And there were reaction videos, and people were so like, oh my gosh, it's Lilly. It made me so happy. That
Oh
made
my
me so
God.
I was
Yeah.
like, people remember, like, I didn't know if they would remember, and they didn't even see her. They just heard the voice before they showed her.
Yeah.
And it would just made me feel like relieved and happy. And it was great. And of course, everybody was like, I'm going to kill her as soon as I can. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm glad that you knew Lily, though. So thank you. That means like she was in your brain. You remembered her. So that's pretty cool.
You know, we can't forget about her. And I mean, the voice is so iconic and badass that it's so easy to realize and, you know, get to know who exactly are we talking about over here. You know, you did an
Yeah.
amazing job. Badass voice, badass performance, everything.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
And actually, someone wants you to say, fuck you, Clementine.
Fuck you, Clementine.
Amazing as always. One take wonder. Yeah, I'm afraid we don't have no more questions, but it appears we have a few lines that they'd like you to say. Is that possible?
Sure.
Okay, so we have one over here. Season 1, episode 2. I want to know why you thought bringing more mouths to feed was a good idea.
I want to know why you think bringing more mouths to feed was a good idea.
Actually, she was, she was screaming at that time, when Lee brought the survivors. Yeah.
To scream it?
Well, not scream it, but, kind of the shouting style.
I want to know why you think bringing more mouths to feed was a good idea.
Exactly. Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the hard thing about recording Lilly is I didn't know the degrees of anger because she had the quiet anger,
yeah,
like the seething kind of quiet, and then she would just start yelling. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. What else is here? Yeah. Well, if you think I'm doing such a shitty job, then you do it. When she told Lee to,
Yelling.
kind of yelling, about the rations.
All right.
Well, if you think I'm doing such a shitty job, then you do it.
Nailing the performance, miss.
It's been years.
Right? It's so hard to believe that it's been so long.
It has. It's been, I mean, because I got the job in 2011, so it's 2021. That's wild to me. That's wild. So I probably did that 10 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, luckily you're not wired. Yeah. And we have another line over here. Dad, come on. Dad. When Larry passed out in the meat lockers.
Wait, what was that?
Dad, come on. Dad. Do you remember?
This is emotional. This is like I have to get to. Oh, Jesus. Dad, come on. Dad.
Pretty good.
Okay.
I can't say anything else but that it's good. Really.
All right.
I mean.
Okay, thank you.
You should play the game though. We want to see your reactions on the scenes.
I did play. I know that part, but you have to understand. It's been
No, that's not what I mean. It's really good to hear say these lines again, but we just want to see your reactions on the game, and that would be so amazing.
Yeah. That would be like crazy. Like I know I would look like a weirdo, like, because it's weird. I feel weird even saying these because I'm usually by myself. I know I look like a crazy person.
Hell no. You are a very nice person. And, I enjoyed this time.
Thank
And I
you.
just
Oh,
appreciate so much that you accepted my invite.
well, you were
And
it was very professional. The fact that you went through my agency and, I mean, usually people just like find me on Instagram or something. So, I mean, I liked that it was like a real official like thing from my agent. I was like, all right, sure. He went the extra mile. Like he was like super professional about it. So that's cool. And everybody's fine the way they do it, but it was different and it was cool. It was a surprise.
is there anything Lilly has to say about the VŌC podcast?
I appreciate that you get to the point and you don't bullshit me. I hate bullshitters. So nice job.
And yeah, guys, make sure to follow Nikki on her Twitter, Instagram, follow her on her Facebook page. And we'll include, of course, all of that in the description, right, Nikki? And
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on. It's been a huge pleasure for me. And hopefully, I'll get to talk to you in the future as well.
Play Psychonauts.
Psychonauts. Yeah.
Yes,
I thank you for reminding me, because otherwise I would have forgot. I gotta check that out. I'm gonna type that in right now too.
Yeah, everybody play Psychonauts and then play Psychonauts 2. They're both amazing, but you don't have to play Psychonauts to understand Psychonauts 2. They do a good recap, but it's all good. So I recommend it. After you're done with Walking Dead, play Psychonauts.
Play the game.
Yeah.
Psychonauts 1 and 2 right
Yes.
fucking now.
Yes.